Video 10, Legacy and Farewell. We have walked together through battlefields and valleys, through harp songs and midnight tears, through caves, crowns, and covenant promises. Now we arrive at the quietest, yet perhaps the loudest chapter of all, the closing days of the man after God's own heart. The warrior's sword rests, the psalmist's hands tremble, and the king who united a nation now prepares to depart it. This is not the fall of a legend, it is the passing of a torch, the aging king and the weight of years. David had lived a life fuller than most men could bear. Shepherd, fugitive, champion, ruler, father, poet, repentant sinner, and chosen servant. By now, the once mighty giant slayer could no longer keep warm in the cold nights of old age. His strength faded, but his mind burned brighter than ever. Because when the body weakens, the soul often speaks clearest. He knew something his sons did not yet understand. Leadership is not secured by ambition, it is secured by calling. And so he summoned his chosen heir, his son, Solomon. David did not give Solomon military strategies. He gave him something far more powerful, obedience. He said its simple meaning, walk in God's ways, keep His commands, and you will prosper. Not because you are clever, but because He is faithful. David had learned through failure what no teacher could teach. Power without God corrupts. Success without humility collapses. Authority without righteousness destroys a nation. He was not preparing Solomon merely to reign. He was preparing him to answer to heaven. David carried a lifelong desire to build a house for the Lord, but God told him, you will not build it, your son will. Some men would grow bitter. David grew generous. Though he would never see it finished, he spent his final strength gathering materials: gold, silver, cedar, stone, craftsmen, musicians, and plans inspired by God Himself for the future temple in Jerusalem. He prepared a sanctuary he would never walk inside. That is legacy. Planting trees whose shade you will never sit under. The final psalm, songs at the edge of eternity. In his last days, David reflected not on victories over enemies, but victories over his own heart. Many songs preserved in the book of Psalms echo themes of repentance, trust, mercy, and hope beyond death. He understood something profound. The throne in Jerusalem would end one day, but the throne God promised him would not. From his lineage would come a future king, a ruler not merely of Israel, but of all nations. David saw beyond his own crown to a coming Messiah. Around 970 BCE, at roughly 70 years of age, David rested from his labors. No battlefield, no assassination, and no collapse of his kingdom. Instead, completion. He was buried in the city he established as Israel's capital, and the nation mourned not just a ruler but a father of identity. The shepherd who once watched sheep now entrusted a nation to God. David's legacy teaches us that legacy is not perfection. It is repentance and faithfulness over time. He failed deeply, he repented sincerely, he loved passionately, and he trusted relentlessly. His dynasty shaped history, his song shaped worship, and his faith shaped prophecy. And long after his bones were turned to dust, the promise remained alive, that his throne would be fulfilled by an eternal king. So the story of David does not end with a funeral, it ends with expectation. The crown passes, the kingdom continues, the promise waits. Because the greatest victory of David was never defeating Goliath, it was believing God would finish what David could not. And in that hope, the shepherd king closed his eyes, knowing heaven was only the next verse of the song he'd been singing all along. I hope you guys enjoyed the story of David. God bless you. Have a good day.